Back with another episode of All Bells, No Whistles, having another conversation with Michael Kinkelaar here. And last time, we started to dive into, this perfectionism idea, anybody asking for help from a therapist, but now more specifically, an athlete raising their hand saying, I want help mentally, right? And I think the stigma has always been that if you go to therapy or you have a mental coach, you're weak. Like that's a ding, that's a negative about you. And hopefully, I think it's starting to change, right? Like no longer is it this taboo subject. Like it's out in the open. We are fully talking about athlete mental health, right? So I think this is really important for the athlete to maybe start to have a better understanding of what does it look like, because psychology back in the day, you go lay on the couch and talk about all your troubles and then you get judged or whatever.
Sure.
I know that's not the therapy I go to. It's very much with my therapist, this conversation and kind of reframing certain viewpoints that we have, right? So what could an athlete expect a session to look like when they come in and they raise their hand and be like, I'm already here with my game. After we talked the last time, they're like, I know mental performance could take my game here. So what does that look like when they come in?
Yeah. So there are similarities to therapy, for sure. There's definitely a therapeutic aspect to the work that I do, and it's a lot of conversations. It's a lot of reframing thoughts and ideas that they have kind of floating around in their head. But it's very, very sport specific and performance specific. And sometimes I think that's, where athletes kind of get scared away or aren't sure of kind of what a session looks like, right? Because they have this idea that it's, like you said, kind of couch feelings, thoughts, getting judged for it, right? And, I'm quick to kind of connect with my athletes, in the first couple sessions and really focus less on necessarily what we got to do, where we got to go, but more just getting to know that athlete, right? Their strengths, their weaknesses, developing that relationship. That's the biggest and most important piece, right? Because that helps them become more comfortable, in our sessions to be able to kind of be reflective and introspective on some of those kind of challenging questions, right? And, what I've found is the more that I can get them to kind of take a deep dive into their performance, right? The more awareness that we build together as a group, right? Because it is a partnership. It's not just me, figuring out kind of, the things that really stand in their way. It's about us kind of pointing out what's causing us maybe some problems or what's holding us back from performing the best that we can, and then together coming up with a path forward. But with that increased awareness, and that reflectivity, we present athletes with opportunities for change, right? And people ask a lot, like, well, what do you do, right? And it's a lot, right? But I think a big piece of what I do is helping them provide an opportunity for change, to grow, to develop. And they do a lot of that kind of on their own. I'm more of a facilitator in sessions, right? I ask questions, I kind of get the conversation started. But I kind of let them put the puzzle pieces together. And the idea there is they're building a better understanding of themselves, not only things that stand in their way, but the things that do make them click as an athlete and help them perform their best.
So to me, yes, very beneficial for sport, but it sounds like they're probably also just getting a lot of tools to navigate non-sport.
Yeah.
Life beyond sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like just being able to sit back and how am I in this position? How do I move out of it if I want to find growth? Is that, would you say that's also another benefit, is just now in school and relationships and beyond?
Right. I kind of joke. It's like, I really teach life skills.
Yeah.
Right. Sports are just kind of the vehicle that I get to, use them in. Right. And it's easy for young folks to kind of, apply those techniques to their sport, right? Because that's what's new and current to them. But what they don't realize is as they're doing that, they're learning how to be more confident for a future job interview, right?
Yeah.
For building trust and relationships, down the road. So there's a lot of back end effects that these athletes kind of experience going through this type of work. And I am also one to make them aware of that during our sessions and our work together, right? Because, if I really want an athlete to, maybe adopt a new mindset or approach to failure, right? And failing. If I can get that athlete not only working on that in practice and in training and in games, but if I can help them take and practice that in school, right? Or at their job, they're getting it in more than one place. They're going to learn that skill faster. They're going to make that change in the way that they perceive failure that much quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think, even in the beginning of this conversation, I was kind of thinking that, this mental performance coaching is what takes the 10% to the 1%, right? College to pro. But the more we're having this conversation, this isn't just for the most elite performers that want to become the most elite performers, right? This could be for a kid on C team, sophomore year C team soccer.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be for the D1 athlete trying to go professional, because there's so many lessons beyond sport that truly any athlete at any level should be taking advantage of these skills. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I always, early on, it's like, all right, athlete, like, where's point A, where's point B, right? And it doesn't matter what point A and point B are, right? For one athlete, point B might be being an All-American Division I volleyball player, right? And for another athlete, point B might be making the varsity team as a junior, right? When they got cut the last 2 years, right? And so it doesn't really matter, where you're going, right? But as long as we, work together to get you where you want to go, then we're doing some good work. Yeah. So for everybody, really. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man, that was awesome. Another great chat. Really enjoyed the time. Where do you want people to find you? Where are we putting out content? How can they find that content?
Yeah. Check me out on Instagram. We get some more posts out there, but also follow up on my website. I've got some good blog posts, that are going to raise some eyebrows and keep you interested in reading. I've got some good topics that ruffle some feathers. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Well, we'll link all of that in the bio and everything and get them to you. So again, appreciate the time. This was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.